Welcome everybody. My name's Maralee Burnett. I am your astrologer, back with the messages for the week of May 10th, which of course is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of you caregivers out there in the world. Even if you're not somebody's mom, you take care of somebody. And so for that, you should be celebrated today. Now, I'm splitting this video up a little bit differently, starting it on Sunday. So I may be transitioning my videos to do that going forward since I was called to this week. And there'll be a separate video that I want to cover a little bit more in depth about this Pluto retrograde that has just started. And then at the end of this video, you're going to have that amazing opportunity from the new moon in Taurus. So we'll go through the breakdown, and then we will go at the end and do the breakdown by sign so that you can see what you want to be manifesting. And it's a pretty beautiful opportunity that you do not want to miss. So if all that sounds really great for you, make sure you click on that subscribe button down below, like, comment, and that way you'll make sure that you get my content notifications every time I post new content, which happens to be daily because I pull an oracle or tarot card daily, and I sprinkle in a little astrology with that short message that you want to make sure that you, again, are getting access to every single day. So with that, we've got a lot to cover, so we are going to jump right in. Almost. Make sure you also go out to my website, maraleeburnett.com. That's where all my written content is. And that way, when you become a member, you get all of my content emailed and sent to you, so you don't have to go trying to search and find it. And I send out a weekly newsletter with the links to all of the current information. So again, it just makes it really super easy for you. And of course, there you can book sessions with me to help you navigate through things like this upcoming new moon in the sign of Taurus. My availability is much more restricted this year, so if you want to book with me, you do need to plan ahead so that you make sure you get the opportunity to work with me one-on-one. So all that again at my website, maraleeburnett.com. So hope to see some of you out there joining me. All right, so with that, if you're new, I use the AstroGold software. This gives us a good, clean view of everything that's going on a day-to-day basis. So we're going to, again, dive right in and start, as I mentioned, on Mother's Day, which is Sunday, May 10th, of course. And so here we have a week that is kicking off, as I mentioned, with Pluto in retrograde. So it was on May 6th where Pluto slowed down, and the work that you've been doing since this planet went retrograde is maybe over the last few days starting to give you a bit of an idea of what's coming for now through the end of October, when it will station and then go direct. Now, this is an outer planet. Pluto rules the psyche, and so it rules things that are hidden. Pluto, the ruler of the underworld, sometimes called Hades. And there it is. We learn to face our fears, and we learn to disseminate between what is real and what is not. And so that work unfolds for you now. Are you a part of something real? Or are you making things up? Is this your psyche that is in charge, your imagination? As they say, fear is things that are false, but they appear to be real. And so when this planet slows down to go retrograde, you have a chance to really consider this house in your chart and what you've been going through. Now, it's on its second year of spending time consistently in the sign of Aquarius. And because this only happens about every 240 years, we have ever experienced this work in our lifetimes. Now we can go back and we can look over things historically and what's been happening for the collective. And of course, there's been a lot of change, a lot of revolutions. And in the sign of Aquarius, this is the energy of the people. So it's about bringing power to the people. And during this 5-month period, the people may begin to realize that they have more power than they think. And now there's something that they need to do with their power. It's, I don't think, a coincidence that this planet will end its retrograde right before the midterm elections here in the United States. So there is a lot to consider during this time as we look at the groups that we're a part of, how we are helping and serving the community, and in what ways, again, do we give our power away, maybe to our friend groups or even our work groups? Are you just so set on helping everybody that you forget to help yourself? So there's something about that conversation that, like I said, mentioning earlier, it started on the 6th. The other thing I find of interest, as usual, is the South Node in Virgo. And mind you, we are counting down the days, if you're a Virgo, where you're letting go of these unhealthy things until the almost end of July, when the nodes will change. And I'm going to tell you right now, the month of July is like nothing you've ever experienced. The entire month is intense, it's active. And so I'm just going to say, whatever you need to release, whatever you need to let go of, do it now. And so there's something about what you need to release, what you need to let go of, what you need to learn from, which is our karma, our South Node energy. It's making this inconjunct, awkward angle back to Pluto. So now both of these energies are connected, but not in an easy way. It's odd, it's awkward, it's weird, like Uranus energy. And so there can be surprising things that you're digging up from the past, from your psyche, from your subconscious mind, that the story's gotten old. Like, it doesn't hold power over you anymore. And you're going to go through a process where this becomes a realization. So facing something that you've been afraid of is going to give you your power back. So that's part of the story as we kick off on Monday. The blessings, the opportunities, the growth opportunities are coming from the sun in Taurus, which is finances. It can be the financial markets, and it's speaking in harmony with Jupiter in Cancer, families. So this is something that benefits you, that warms your heart, that can be a blessing. It can be two really important leaders that are coming together and making some kind of a financial agreement that protects their homeland and their families and allows us to finally maybe move things forward. Just one opportunity for you to consider. But the houses where you have this Taurus energy and this Jupiter energy are also combining and potentially between these two areas, bringing something really good and beautiful to you. Now, it is a sextile, which means a 60-degree angle. And sometimes the energy can be a little bit more subtle as far as opportunity. Blue is beneficial. But Jupiter, because it expands on what it's touching, makes this a stronger sextile. And the sun is our ego self. It's where we're meant to succeed. It's our ego self. So there can be some, like I said, some big egos motivated by money that come together to bring an end to some conflict. And that conflict can be highlighted by the moon entering into Pisces today and having a difficult conversation, literally, with Uranus in the sign of Gemini, which can bring shocking and surprising information to the surface, especially because the moon in Pisces is also highlighting what's hidden and beneath the surface. So something in some way throughout the weekend, throughout these next few days, is coming up, is being exposed, so that we can move forward in some area of our life where we feel completely stuck. And if you haven't done so yet, I have a pretty thorough article about Uranus's time in Gemini and what it means. And there's a breakdown for every sign. So again, go out to my website, check that out. And of course, the link will be down below that you can take a look at after you watch all of this video, of course. All right. So that is Monday. Sorry. That is Sunday. Oh boy. Let me move us ahead though to Monday. And here we're not going to see much shifting and changing, but we do see all the conversations are continuing. So the sun is still in good harmony with Jupiter, and it has been since, I would say, at least Thursday of the week leading up to this week. So the continued support that you need is there. So take advantage of it. Like I said, it can come across a little subtly, especially if you don't have personal planets in these signs or at these degrees. But there's something there that you want to tune into and pay attention to, because if you take action on this, it's likely to turn out even better than you would have expected. So keep an eye on whatever is being offered to you. And if it feels too good to be true, just slow down, look at all of the details, get second opinion, third opinion, make sure you're, again, not making stuff up or trying to be taken advantage of, and then follow through on whatever this amazing opportunity could be for you. As we then move into Tuesday, now we're beginning to see Mercury lend a hand in this conversation by providing you with the rest of the details. So remember how I said, maybe you need to check and get a second or third opinion. Well, as Mercury comes through here and speaks again in harmony with Jupiter as it gets close to its Cazimi moment, it has the facts. It has the details. It has everything about this financial opportunity. Now, for some, maybe it's not finances, maybe it's love, right? This is the sign ruled by Venus. She rules over the things that we put value in, that are valuable, that are material in nature. And so now there is more information that you can dig into and start to feel a bit more comfortable with whatever this opportunity is. And again, this could be literally an offer because Mercury's involvement. Maybe it's a vehicle, right? You're ready to buy a new vehicle. And here we have Mercury getting ready to help you make up a decision on what that is. However, because it is about to be a Mercury Cazimi, I would just be very careful and just definitely check over all the details before you make any kind of a major purchase. But if someone's giving you a gift, enjoy it. Full. All right. Then we have, I would say, a lot of good news in the world, right? Because of Mercury, because of Jupiter expanding on the information and the good news coming in, it could be a good day in the markets. And it could just be a day where you feel a little indulgent with your enjoyment of food, which is a Cancer thing as well. So just open your mind, open your eyes to whatever this opportunity is that's coming in for you, and do take a look at the houses where you have this Taurus and this Cancer energy, because we're not going to see this opportunity like this again for at least 12 years, because that's how long it takes Jupiter to go through its cycle and come back again to this area of your chart. Then we're going to move quickly through Wednesday. Nothing really of importance on that day. And then even as we get to Thursday, it's not major, but we do see Venus in the sign of Gemini. And she is speaking in harmony with the moon in Aries, Mars in Aries, and Chiron in Aries. And she will over these next several days. So this gives you, Aries, the power, the motivation to maybe share some information that perhaps that Sun or Mercury and Jupiter energy gave to you. And now you can use what you've learned or use what you've been given and share it with others. This is a really good day to do something like speak. So if you have a speaking engagement today, you're likely to be well received. You can, again, take whatever you've been rewarded with, because of course, remember, Venus is who's been ruling over this good luck and good fortune, and Mercury and ruling Gemini. There's something that Venus in Gemini today is sharing about what this good news or good opportunity is. And so this can be really helpful if you're an entrepreneur, because this has everything to do with Aries energy. And when Mars is helping motivate you, Chiron is helping coach and lead you, and the moon is helping you get in touch with your intuition. Again, got some really good opportunity to take action, to make a new plan, to maybe put a course out there that you've been working on that benefits women in finances, whatever it is that you've been focused on doing, all the legwork. Now's the time to get whatever that is out there. And it should do amazingly as a result of all of this positive energy. And so the moon will move on, but this conversation will continue over the next several days. So I feel like this is a story that kicks off over maybe even last week for you, and then the next piece of information comes in, and then the next piece of information comes in, and this is just slowly unfolding bit by bit, piece by piece, until you finally see where all this was heading. And once these pieces start fitting together, you're going to be ready to take off in some new direction, which makes perfect sense as we're heading towards, like I said, a really beautiful new moon in the sign of Taurus. Now, pretty big activity today comes from the Sun, Ceres, which is an asteroid that's a feminine energy, and Mercury. So this is a cazimi that includes the asteroid and Mercury and the Sun all sitting at 24 degrees of Taurus, which is very close to where we're about to have this new beginning. So this is, again, the next stepping stone, the aha moment, the big idea, the big news, the big information. And whenever I look at Ceres, I always see a sickle in my mind. And what do you do with a sickle? Well, you harvest what you've been growing. And so there is a huge development today that has us producing something. And whatever we're producing or putting out there could be kind of surprising or shocking to other people, as they had no idea you've been working on this. And of course, in the collective, there is something, again, being harvested, being shared amongst others. And it has everything to do with money and information and food, and who knows what is going to happen today, but it's mind-blowing. And that's Mercury Kazemi. Mercury is being baptized by the sun's fire. And so this is when the planet goes through a rebirth process. Every time it meets up with the sun in a new sign, it's a way to clear all of Mercury's energy and have a reset so that you can then move forward. And then this will start a whole new cycle, because this is when Mercury's moving forward, and it will continue to move forward after its conversation with the sun, after its conversation with Ceres, and then present us with a new chapter, a new cycle, until later in the summer when it will go retrograde through the sign of Cancer. So this is that energy that gets along well together. And so I really think we need to pay attention to whatever is going on this week, because I think there'll be much more to explore and uncover as Mercury heads into Cancer, literally following in Jupiter's footsteps in July and having almost an identical retrograde, but of course much swifter. So there's something we're being set up that we'll need to really slow down and understand. And like I mentioned, July is phenomenal for all of the things that are going on that month. So there's something in the setup. It doesn't have to be bad, right? But it is a lot that's going on in July. So get your rest, eat healthy, and take advantage of anything that's coming your way right now, even if it blows your mind, because there's much more to it. But you need to have started now in order to fully appreciate all of the changes that will be coming as we hit the month of July. So it's this. I can't wait to come back and visit these conversations as we get into that month. All right. Let's move ahead to Friday. And on Friday, you'll notice, as I mentioned, Mercury keeps going, right? So it'll be a couple of days before, Mercury's out of the shadow of the sun. And then you really are going to have your mind blown as Mercury starts talking with Uranus next week. So make sure you're here to tune in and hear about that. And more mind-blowing events are coming, as I mentioned, when Mars and Chiron come together as well. So today, the biggest thing that I was looking at when I looked at this week was this is the moment where that South Node in Virgo, the lessons that you've been learning over the past 15, 16 months now, there's something about what you've been learning, about what you let go or why you had to let it go, that is ready to be seen. Because this is when that South Node energy and the Pluto, that weird, awkward, inconjunct energy, it makes itself known because it will be exact. And this is it. And we want to tune in and pay attention. Now, what will be interesting about what we learn or what's exposed at this time is, remember, the South Node's going in retrograde motion almost all of the time. So it's counting down. And Pluto in retrograde also, but very slowly, will make its way back to 3 degrees of Aquarius. And so this work, it is work. Like, we have to slow down. We have to go within. We have to review our connections, right? Is it how you present yourself on the internet? Is it the work groups or the friend groups that you are a part of that need to change? And is there something about an experience in your past that has aligned you with people or groups that just isn't true anymore? And so you may need to make some big shifts and changes. And there could be something, as I mentioned, in today's energy that wakes us up to that old opportunity that no longer serves us. And then this is in perfect alignment with the fact that the new moon is tomorrow. So in order to start something new, we have to let something go. And so today may be that setup. On Friday, you're literally letting something go. So this new beautiful opportunity can come in for you. So if something comes up, if it's your normal nature to say, oh no, let me give them 10,000 more chances before I finally walk away, break that pattern and let them and it go. If you give your power away to this circumstance, you will spend the next 4 or 5 months kind of in a way being tortured by it. So don't do that. Instead, take your power back and spend these next several months rebuilding yourself and becoming healthy again. All right, then let's talk about this new moon in the sign of Taurus, which of course is happening in close conjunction with Mercury. So this is now when, after the mind-blowing information, after the big opportunities of last week, and especially if you have personal planets or angles or your nodes here around this 25 degrees of Taurus, and the closer they are, the more impactful this opportunity will be. You have to take advantage of it. So now Mercury has all of the details. It might have a financial offer to you, and you want to say yes because it's a big deal. It's a part of your journey. It's a journey that could be really important over the next 6 months, and a part of it would come to a completion at that full moon in Taurus. So this is something that has to do with money, beauty, love, any material purchases. Those will all fall under this. This also could have something to do with food. You think about earth energy and Taurus, and this is ruled by Venus. And what's Venus doing? Well, remember I said Venus is the woman with the plan, with the information, with all of the details to help you start whatever this is. And she's being empowered by Mars and Chiron, trainer of the gods. Yes, Chiron is the wounded healer. And when it's helping you, you're healing. That's the benefit of Chiron, right? Here's an opportunity to heal something. And it could be conversation that has hurt you in the past that now will help you heal. There's an offer. There could be job offers. It really is very dependent on whatever is going on in your chart and what's being impacted by all of this unique, helpful energy that's showing up right now. So of course, the moon is always about an emotional reset. When it's a blank slate, we have an opportunity to have a fresh start. And the sun is the light being shined on whatever this opportunity is for you. So it's important that we take this reset moment and take advantage of it. And so as we finish talking about tomorrow's energy, we're going to look at what houses are impacted by this event. And then I want you to also look at where you have Venus at 27 degrees of Gemini, because that house is also important, which will be the house following the one where you have this new moon typically. The details, the information, check your mail. If somebody comes across your mind and you think, wow, I haven't talked to them in a while, I need to reach out, do that. This is not the time for delaying anything, especially since Mercury's in Venus's sign. Mercury rules communication and information and transportation. You do not want to second guess yourself, or you're going to miss a really amazing, beautiful opportunity. So all of that with Mars feeding Venus's energy says take action. You're in charge of the information. You're in charge of teaching other people, of sharing information. Don't think you shouldn't. Like, this is the time to speak up. And if you got information about health and healing right now, you need to be sharing that with other people. And of course, we're hearing a lot about a new virus, a new outbreak, and shockingly, Uranus and Gemini, air transfer of a virus that affects your lungs. Is this sounding like something in the past? Yeah. So, listen up, pay attention. There is something to be learned. Anytime we have these kind of outbreaks, there's something for us to learn through the process. So, listen to what you're being told, and then use your eyes and look at the actual details and the information to see what the truth actually is. It's not necessarily what you are hearing, but there will be some really good information and opportunities coming up as a result of this new moon, but you got to get moving. You got to get going based on what you're learning, what you're being told at this time. Other than that, there is nothing directly impacting the new moon, except for, of course, we've got still the connection to Jupiter, but it's still at 21 degrees and the new moon energy has moved forward. But again, that's why I said I feel like this is a result of the conversations that have already been happening between Jupiter and the Sun. And a sextile from Jupiter is a blessed new beginning. Now, it can challenge people if you have planets that are squaring this new moon. Say you had 25 degrees of Leo. Well, then that means you have to change something in order for this new opportunity, this financial blessing to come in. You can't keep doing things the same way you always did. But those are the things that we can talk about when we have a personal reading. But just keep that in mind, that there is this invisible force behind the scenes that's building in intensity, that is shaping and changing things within the collective energy that then come down and help us. So not very strong, but beginning to play a role that we'll see more in the next couple lunar events, especially as we get to July, as I've mentioned, is this Uranus, which has now moved off the zero. So we're done with the reset. We're done with the preview. It's a number one, like a new moon, like a new beginning. So we're ready to move forward with something as a result of this being off of that 0 degree. Now, it's going to set up a minor triangle that we had last year, but in different signs. So now in fire and air, which are things that move us forward swiftly, we have that Neptune and Aries energy. And of course, as we were talking, we've got Pluto in Aquarius. So the closer these are to one another, the stronger this influence will feel. But then these are outer planets. So it's not like a personal planet where I go, oh, wow, I noticed something changing in my day-to-day life. More likely, you may notice something internally within you that's changing, or you'll notice a bigger change in the world, or maybe the organization that you work for, that suddenly presents an opportunity to you that you weren't expecting. And that's what these outer planets do. They make bigger changes and bigger shifts that then trickle down and affect us on a personal level. So you early degree Gemini, Aries, Aquarius, You've got a lot going on beneath the surface. And so you need to make sure that you are giving yourself enough time to unplug and really listen into your guides, your intuition, pay attention to your dreams. Dream journaling right now can be really important because there is this energy behind the scenes helping to shift and change your life. And so especially when something that you thought you had to have, or a situation you thought had to go a certain way doesn't, and kind of suddenly and out of the blue, that is meant to be, and do not stress about it. As I say, get curiously optimistic about, that came out of left field. I wasn't expecting that at all. There's a reason for it, but you have to be patient because these outer planets don't move quickly. But these will move more quickly than we had in their last iteration because of the fact that this is fire and air. So this is going to get really interesting, as I mentioned, when we get to the summer. All right, so let's just look at Sunday really quickly, and then we are going to move ahead and do the breakdown for the new moon for every sign. So on Sunday, which I know I'm going an extra day. If I started on Sunday, I probably could have ended on Saturday, but it's so juicy, I didn't want to miss it or make you wait a whole week. So this is when all the details can really shock and surprise us, because this is when Mercury is now in its home sign of Gemini. It's meeting with Uranus, and it will have a conversation with the moon. So there can be really big surprises that show up for us on Sunday that for some of you, it's an amazing opportunity because of the fact that this Neptune in Aries is you pursuing your dreams. And now some information about how to pursue your dream is being brought to the surface. Maybe it's a class that is suddenly in your sphere of interest and you never considered it in the past, doing this thing or studying this topic. But it's exactly what you need to move yourself forward. And speaking of moving forward, this is Mars at 29 degrees. So now, over the past 6 weeks, what's been going on in your life? Have there been arguments, or have you really felt motivated? Have you been determined? Have you been working on yourself? Anytime a planet hits 29 degrees, there's a test. There's something that can test us. It can feel like a crisis. If you haven't been doing the work, I think this energy feels more like a crisis. If you have been, I feel like this energy is more of a testing you to see, did you retain all of the lessons? And if so, what are you going to do about it? Or how are you going to use this for yourself? How are you going to keep yourself motivated going forward? And remember, it's been talking with Chiron. So this is a lot about taking care of your own health and getting all the details and information to do just that. There is something that could test your health in some way as we get here to Sunday on May 17th. So again, get ready for some really juicy details that will shock and surprise us. And you'll know that next new moon will be in the sign of Gemini. So pay attention to the details. Pay attention to where your mind is going and what it's coming up with. And especially when it comes to our own health, what are you doing to take care of yourself instead of just relying on other people and the information that they want you to believe? All right, so that's the whole week with a bonus day because I just didn't want to wait to talk about it. So let's take a breath and then let's do the breakdown for every sign as it comes to the new moon. Okay, so I have this set up for just our new moon event. If you happen to be in the Arizona area, then your new moon happens on Saturday, May 16th around 1:01 in the afternoon. Now, I do believe it's helpful to do new moon ceremonies as close to the new moon as possible. And these are ones that, especially because we're talking about Earth and information with that connection with Venus, these are the ones where I really love to write them out, your 10 new moon intentions, and speak them out. And then I like to bury them in the earth. This is the time where we're planting seeds in the earth about something that we want to grow to fullness, that will be very fruitful. There needs to be some patience. As I mentioned before, some of these things that we start now could take 6 full months to be realized, but this is the time where you're setting the intentions and you're planting those seeds so that this new beginning can come to fruition. And so start thinking about what your 10 intentions are, and you have to join with the energy. If you want to manifest anything, you can't sit and wait on it. You have to do something that aligns your energy with this new beginning. So, new moon in Taurus. This is a good day to eat a delicious meal. It's a good day to get your hands dirty, do some gardening. It's a Saturday, so that's helpful. Connect to the earth energy and then connect to Venus's energy. Venus wants to enjoy beautiful things on this day. Go to a museum, go see the ballet, right? Do something with the arts, because Venus also rules the arts. Have a conversation with other women, right? Venus in the sign of Gemini. So we have some really beautiful energy. So do something that makes yourself feel beautiful. Get your hair done, get a beauty makeover, or go buy yourself something beautiful. Just don't overdo it, right? Because, Venus has the platinum credit card and most of us do not. So just keep that in mind as you're indulging yourself some way. Great day to schedule a massage or something where you're doing like clay all over your body, for instance. Literally, do a clay mask. If you can't do something extravagant, just do something. And that way, in that state, then do your new moon intentions, and you're really adding a lot of power and energy to them. And if all you can do is write your intentions down with a brown pencil and bury them in the earth, great, but just do something that activates this energy so that you have a better chance. And always use your intentions to change something within you that's blocking you. And then always using the words to easily bring this forward effortlessly, right? You don't want to make this hard work. But Taurus is already really hard work and very stubborn energy. So there definitely will be a little bit of work involved with whatever your intentions are during this new moon. Now, if you skipped ahead, you want to go back to Friday and see all the details about all of these planets and their connections. But right now, we're just going to jump right into it. And as usual, get started with the sign of Aries and discuss what your new opportunities will be. So, of course, Aries, this is your second house. The second house rules the money we make. This is the things that we want to spend our money on, right? So this could be a change in the work that you do because of this new opportunity. And it would seem as though this new opportunity would include a pretty hefty pay raise as a result. Now, because of Mercury being there, because of the Mercury Cazimi that just happened, this new opportunity may be completely shocking and surprising to you. You may not have even been looking for this opportunity, and somebody reaches out to you and gives you the offer of a lifetime, and you absolutely want to take advantage of it. And so consider, Aries, that Venus, ruler of your new moon, is in your third house of communication, of transportation, of teaching. So that's where this offer is coming from, that will change the way you currently do the work that you do. Anything with communication, transportation, as I mentioned, teaching. So get ready for an amazing opportunity, and especially, Aries, if you have planets that are later, your rising sign, your sun, at these 25 degrees, you are going to feel this intensely, and you're going to love every minute of it. And next, of course, Taurus, hello. Man, especially if you're like a 25-degree Taurus, this is a whole new you. This can be the time of year where you do a complete beauty makeover. There is this time for you to finally believe in yourself, to allow yourself something that you've been denying yourself forever because you didn't think you're worthy or you didn't think you deserved it, which I find hard to believe. But, you know, there are some Tauruses out there that have been holding back. And now here's this incredible opportunity for you to do something for yourself. Now, that could be the result of this Venus energy, of course, ruling you and ruling this new beginning is in your second house of the money you make. So maybe it's because you got a raise that you can finally go out and buy yourself a whole new wardrobe. And that, again, makes you feel beautiful and amazing. Now, you could also just get some feedback from some woman that you work with that makes you feel amazing about yourself and the job that you are doing. But there is definitely an important conversation that you are having, and it makes you feel really good about yourself. And you're extra appreciative, and you will be expressing how appreciative you are for this new opportunity, and that appreciation will be well received and also rewarded in some way. So it's not about getting in your head or getting a bigger head. This is about expressing gratitude for these amazing opportunities that are coming your way. But it's a whole new you, Taurus. Going forward, you're going to wonder why you maybe waited so long for this to happen or to let it happen. But man, once it does, what an amazing year ahead you have for yourself. All right, then we have Geminis, and Gemini, this for you is happening in your 12th house. So the 12th house can have things to do with large institutions. These are things that can be hidden and beneath the surface. These are places where we can get stuck or trapped. So a new beginning here would say to me that you are allowing yourself to be set free. So wherever you feel stuck or trapped, this new beginning is a whole fresh start. This is a reset of your subconscious mind, of those storylines that have been playing hidden beneath the surface that you're done listening to. Now, there could be a woman, because of course Venus is in your sign during this new moon, and she, first house, is having a conversation with you. And so maybe this could be a doctor, this could be a counselor, it could be a teacher. And whatever she says to you around this new moon, it's like the key to setting yourself free, to releasing and letting go of an old storyline that has just, it's worn out, it's welcome, and you're ready to move on from it. Now, for some, because the 12th house can be large institutions. I think of these as the large corporations. I even see the government as a large corporation. But this is a woman in an authority position that has something to say that changes how people see you. Now it's positive, right? Because Venus is speaking in harmony with Chiron and Mars. And this is your first house. This is how other people see you, how you are rising in the world. And so something this woman is about to teach you is what's going to help you rise in the world. So do not ignore her. Like, she's legit. Whatever she's telling you right now, you should believe her. You should take action on whatever she has to say to you. And then look out, because you are about to go to incredible new heights. And especially because you've got Uranus here in your sign, you're meant to change and transform in unexpected ways through unique opportunities and interactions for the next 7 years. This is just the beginning of your new story. So enjoy it, Geminis. And then we have Cancers. Cancer, this is your 11th house. Now, the 11th house can bring you gains and blessings. This is helping you make the right connections at the right time. And as I mentioned earlier this week, there's this beautiful supportive energy that you always get from Taurus. I would say a lot of Cancer and Taurus people are good friends because this energy works really well together. You're people that could be in business together and collaborate with each other on some big new idea. So 11th house, friends and networking groups are about to really pay off for you. You could also have a benefactor or an investor that shows up suddenly, surprisingly, out of nowhere and says, hey, I believe in what you're doing and I want to become a part of it somehow. So a beautiful blessing. You still have Jupiter in your sign. You're ready to move forward. Jupiter's getting closer to being done with its post-shadow retrograde, with all of the details, information, and lessons coming, to completion. And then we have this Venus energy that's sitting in your 12th house. So this is a time where you pay attention to anything that's coming from your subconscious mind, right? This is your voice teaching you what you need to release or let go of. But it also means that, as I mentioned, 12th house can be large institutions, that there's a woman maybe that you work for or used to work for that has an offer for you that you want to be taking full advantage of. Now, it would definitely require change because you Cancers are getting a workout from these planets here in Aries, and that means you have to choose yourself, right? That's the Aries, is what do I want for myself? Where Cancer is like, but I want to take care of everybody. Yes, I know, because I'm Cancer sun. But our Aries-ness needs you to think about yourself in whatever this opportunity is and how it's going to benefit you. But it could create some changes at home as a result of that. All right. Then we have Leos. And Leo, this could be a career-changing moment for you. This is your 10th house. This is how you are at your highest level of achievement, is the 10th house. So a lot of times we think of this as our career. It could be a marriage. It's anything to do with your status, your reputation. What are you most known for? Well, you're about to really get known for whatever that is because of this brand new, beautiful, juicy opportunity, which could end up, enhancing your financial situation. And so it could be even a promotion or a raise or a bonus that, again, you weren't really expecting, that comes and changes everything. Now, it could be a woman in your friend group or your work group, or that you're connected to, a teacher, maybe a teacher from the past, that reaches out to you with this offer and this opportunity that you'll feel pretty inspired by. And so I do always tell people, even if the money isn't there at the moment that you think you need to have, do it anyway. Because if you're pursuing your dreams, if you're getting in alignment with the energy, if you're following on a path that has been shown to you, what you need to thrive and survive financially will show up pretty quickly once you take a risk or a leap of faith. So there is, again, for you, especially late degree Leos, this Mars is in your corner, Chiron's out there helping you heal. Early degrees, you're getting your flex on with Saturn, who's giving you the rules and the plans, and Neptune's out here helping you and get your dreams going, right? So these Aries activators of this new moon are in alignment with you, Leo. This is a fiery, passionate opportunity that you fully want to take advantage of. And then your career is going to new heights as a result of this beautiful opportunity that's coming your way. But it definitely will require a change. But have faith and go forward. And keep me posted, Leos. And next we have Virgos. Virgos, for you, this is a 9th house new moon. So the 9th house is about growth, expansion. It can be foreign people, foreign places. It's a spiritual journey of some kind. It's getting beyond what's in your personal space and going after something more, something bigger than just yourself when we have a new beginning that happens in the 9th house. So maybe you want to finish a degree. That would be a higher education goal that you have for yourself, or a spiritual type of training that you've been wanting to attend or take advantage of, and you haven't had the financial resources to do it, but those will show up for you at this time. And then a whole new world opens up for you, Virgos. And this energy, of course, being an earth sign like you, is something that you feel aligned to do. It's new, it's different, but it's something that when you hear about it, when you've gotten this offer, your soul knows that like this is for you. So we look at the ruler, of course, Venus, sitting up here in your 10th house, Virgos. So this could be something that opens up a new door as far as your career goes. Maybe you're going to take what you've learned and teach other people. So there's things you need to learn that then you can teach other people. And it's a woman that you work with or you've worked with in the past that's going to reach out to you and give you this opportunity. And keep in mind, with Venus being fed by that Mars energy, this is a very impassioned offer. Like, this is something that when you hear about it, you will feel very connected to it right away. So it's a great time, Virgos, to network with women that you've worked with in the past and see what you can grease the wheels and make happen at this time. Ooh, so exciting. All right. Now, Libras, you, of course, are also ruled by Venus, and Venus is in an air sign, Gemini. So I think this is a pretty amazing opportunity. Now, this is happening in your 8th house. So the 8th house of death, rebirth, transformation, intimacy. This is wealth that comes to us from other resources that we don't necessarily create on our own. So this could have something to do with your partner coming into money of some kind that would benefit you. But it's also an invitation for you to consider doing something very new and different than you've ever done before. And this woman who reaches out to you is going to be the catalyst that creates this change and this transformation in your life. Because that Venus energy for you, she's going to be sitting in your ninth house of higher learning and education and spirituality. So there is some type of a guru that reaches out to you with this opportunity that, again, opens up this whole new chapter. Now, whenever we're talking about eighth house, it's pretty intense, right? We're talking about Scorpio energy, death, rebirth, transformation, power, the occult. Like anything goes when it comes to the eighth house. But if you're trying to manifest something in particular, especially money, because we're talking about Taurus energy, the opposite of Scorpio energy, then this is you going about it in a completely different way than maybe you have in the past. And that's what's going to help you attract in what you need. So remember all those things that I was talking about doing at your new moon ceremony? Make sure you especially do them. You especially connect to that grounded, earthy energy so that you align with whatever it is that you're trying to attract in. Now, same thing's true if you're looking for a new intimate relationship or an improvement in intimacy in the relationship with the partner you currently have. This is about reviving this area of your life and your chart, and having some faith, Venus in the ninth house, can help you do just that. Or this, again, feminine energy is going to be who connects all the dots for you and shows you what power you have to create the changes that you say you desire. Do you, Libra? It's okay to sometimes rock the boat and choose yourself and what you want and what you need and what you desire. And something throughout the process of this new moon could just be the key that unlocks your full potential. So make sure you take advantage of it. And speaking of you Scorpios, of course, when you have a new moon opposite of your sign, then this has everything to do with the relationships in your life. So this is a new beginning that could be a business partnership. This is a new beginning as far as your marriage goes. Maybe just getting married is what's showing up for you at this time. But it's all about conversations with your partner that make sure your values are still aligned, especially how you guys spend your money and what you spend it on. What are your priorities? And does something need to change in some way? All of those things are possible, but this is the best time, Scorpios, to be focusing on manifesting a new business partner or a new marriage partner or a really close friendship, right? These are long-term relationships that we are creating at this time. But of course, communication is key. And maybe it's somebody who surprised you and reached out to you recently that you're going to go on this new adventure or start this new relationship with. So that Venus energy for you, Scorpio, that's showing up in your eighth house. Death, rebirth, and transformation. And so that's why I think it is somebody who reaches out to you and surprises you that is coming with some information that could change everything about your current relationship or business partnership. So don't be surprised if somebody comes knocking at your door unexpectedly and changes everything. So if there's a woman who reaches out and is like, hey, what do you think about going into business together? Yes, you should. Of course, do all your due diligence. We are talking about a tremendous change and an important relationship. You want to make sure it's something that you are truly aligned with at this time. And I think you are. Exciting, Scorpios. All right, and then we have Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, this is a new beginning in your 6th house of the work you do. It could have a new beginning that affects your day-to-day life. If you're not working, this could bring you a new pet. This could definitely bring you a new job and new money along with that new job. If you have been struggling with your health, then this could bring ideas or answers that will help you get healthier. But there is, I think, for many of you, especially if you have energy in Taurus, these late degrees of another earth sign, there's a financial opportunity that you want to take advantage of, because it's going to change the direction that you were heading in the current work that you do. And it could be a collaboration of some kind, because you are going to have Venus sitting across the sky from you in your 7th house of marriage and business partnerships. And so there's new money opportunity, and there's a woman who is going to reach out and contact you about this business. Maybe it's a side hustle that you do, and she's going to want to partner with you and take it in a slightly new or different direction. And you should absolutely 1000% do it, because it is going to change your life in ways that you would have never imagined, especially financially. Like I said, especially if you have planets at those later degrees, you're going to see this opportunity the most. And for others, there's still information that's coming in that's going to help change what you do on a day-to-day basis. And these conversations, they're so important that you don't brush somebody off if you think, solicitor, whatever. It's not. Like, it's the real deal. So let them in, let this conversation through, and take advantage of their expertise, because they want to take advantage of yours, and then really watch your business grow as a result, Saggies. All right. Then we have Capricorns. Capricorn, this is your 5th house. So this is a house that rules the heart. It can rule over your children. It can rule over your hobbies. This can be the beginning of a new romance because of all of this 5th house activation of your heart. And of course, you're another earth sign, so you are very much aligned with this new moon energy. It's very beneficial to you. It's a trine, and a trine is something long lasting and very beneficial, but you got to act. So you have to take advantage of this opportunity. Definitely make sure you're doing your new moon ceremony so that you can invite whatever this is in. So is it a new child? Is it a new love? And love doesn't just have to be romantic, but something new that you'll love, even if it's just a hobby. But you have a chance to open your heart again and live. Don't be so serious, Capricorns. Let this new opportunity in and open your heart chakra with whatever this is. Now, I really feel with that Venus and Gemini energy in your 6th house of the work you do, that this could be something, let's say it's a hobby, that turns into something more down the road, something that you could then turn into your own business. That's definitely a possibility. Now, if it's love, then this person is reaching out to you, and maybe there's somebody that you work with. There's somebody that's a part of your day-to-day life, and maybe it's a friend, a girlfriend that introduces you to somebody, and when you meet, sparks fly, and your normal, slow and steady self is really excited to take advantage of whoever this person is and get to know them right away. But whatever this is, you're going to love it. So don't be so risk averse that you don't take a risk that does kind of change everything that you're sold on doing at this time. Because remember, you, like Cancer, have all of this Aries activation energy squaring to you, which is kind of forcing you outside of your comfort zone. And of course, Saturn, your ruler's in Aries. It's pushing you to consider new and different things, to break free from where you're feeling kind of stuck and trapped. And so this new moon could be just what you need to finally make those really big, important changes, Capricorns. Exciting. All right. Next, we have Aquarius. So Aquarius, you know, you got Pluto now in your sign and going retrograde. So especially you early degrees of Aquarius, this is, an internal remodeling moment that's been activated at this time. And with a new moon happening in your fourth house of home and family, the fourth house also is your personal home, where the soul sits at the base of your chart is your home body, right? Your soul has to live within this body that is you. So there's all kinds of opportunities and changes that can be going on within you at this time. You could feel like you're literally going through an internal remodel of some kind. And for others, it could simply be that this is a new opportunity to buy a new home. You could be refreshing and remodeling the home that you currently live in. And that would be a great way to take advantage of this energy as well. Now, you've got that Venus energy in your fifth house in Gemini and another air sign. So again, this is a woman who maybe travels to support you in your efforts to beautify your home. That's just one of the many possibilities. Or this is a woman who's a realtor who helps you find your new home. But there's definitely another person involved in giving you the details and the information that you need to make these changes. Maybe you're hiring somebody, because I always say Gemini's about working with the hands, to help you do the work, or maybe it's a friend, and she is coming in to help you do this sprucing up of your home. But it's going to make you feel really good about yourself, because your home is a reflection of who you are. And the way it looks now, for some reason, just isn't the way you want it to look. And so good news is that over the next 2 weeks in particular, until the next full moon, take advantage of the help you get and do the work, and you'll end up feeling so good about yourself as a result of the effort that you make at this time. So whether you're buying, moving, remodeling, or just refreshing your home, do it, because you're going to feel so good afterwards and be so glad. And then it's off of your plate and done. Nothing better than that. And then you can keep doing the Pluto work on the inside. All right, Aquarius, keep me posted on that. And yeah, I do love a good home project. So call me up for some ideas. And then we finish off, of course, with Pisces. And this is your third house of communication, of your community, of learning. And so there is something that's starting fresh and new that involves all of those topics. So it is a great time if you want to go back to school, if you want to continue your education, or maybe you just want to sign up to take some kind of masterclass or a course of some kind that, again, opens your mind to new information and new details that help you heal in some way. That's a great time to consider going to school or signing up for a course where you could be a health coach, for instance. So this is where you have that woman who is giving you all the information and all of the details to help you do exactly what's needed at this time. And with this being also Venus in Gemini in your fourth house of home and family, it could be a family member that has all of the information and all of the details needed to help you. So if someone in your family reaches out and says, hey, I just came across this new thing, I think you should consider it, then you absolutely, positively should. So this is a great time again for reaching out, for networking with other people, especially women in business groups. This can be a really fruitful time. It also could be a new opportunity to work from home, study from home, teach from home, that anything to do with, of course, Venus and community and information in your fourth house means this could change how you do the work you do from home as well. Maybe you're going to get into some kind of a hybrid model of work from home because of this new opportunity that comes in unexpectedly, but then you'll be really excited about, right? Because third house of communication is somebody who reaches out to you with a new money-making idea or opportunity. And of course, the community that we're a part of also includes our work community. So there's something very fruitful coming your way, Pisces. And so I'm very excited for you. All right. So there you have it, guys. That's the breakdown for every sign. I tried to make it a little interesting with adding in the influence of Venus here for everybody. So, of course, where this is happening in your own chart could be slightly different. So take what I've shared with you and look at your own chart, and then you can listen to that portion of the video. If it's not exactly what your sign is, listen to the next one or the one before you and get that spin of Venus's influence based on that house. Venus is late, so of course I use Placidus, so it could be a different house where this influence is showing up for you. All right, there we go, guys. Let me know in the comments what you're hoping to manifest, or if you have a question. Guys, if you leave me questions, I answer them. If you ask me on my card readings to pull a card for you based on a certain topic, I'll do it. Just ask. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. All right, guys. And I'm here to be super excited and cheer you on for whatever your new adventures are at the time of this new moon. So again, let me know. I can't wait to hear how you're growing and changing as a result of all this new opportunity energy that's coming in this year. All right, guys, thanks so much. And I'm excited to talk to you next week. Take care.